Walt Disney by Barbara Kramer. Who was Walt Disney? Have you ever been to Disneyland or Walt Disney World? Maybe you've seen Disney movies. The Lion King and Frozen are two of the most successful cartoon movies of all time. There are Disney clothes, toys, and books. The Disney name is everywhere, and it all started with one man, Walt Disney. Over the years, Disney movies have changed from hand-drawn films, such as The Lion King, to computer-made ones, such as Frozen. Disney was the creator of Mickey Mouse, one of the best-known cartoon characters in the world. For Disney, those Mickey Mouse cartoons were just part of his success. Disney liked to say that his success began with a mouse. This photo from 1955 shows Disney drawing Mickey. Disney was a dreamer from the start, and his dreams kept getting bigger. Some people thought his ideas were too big or even impossible, but that did not stop Disney. Even though he sometimes failed, he never stopped trying new things. Disney also created theme parks. Here he points to a drawing of Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland. He changed the way cartoons were made. He also created a new type of movie. With imagination and hard work, Disney made his dreams come true. He made our world a more fun place to be. In his own words, you don't know what you can do unless you try. Early years. Walter Elias Disney was born on December 5, 1901 in Chicago, Illinois, USA. He was the youngest of 4 boys. His sister, Ruth, was born 2 years later. When Disney was 4 years old, the family moved to Missouri, USA. They settled on a farm near the town of Marceline. Everyone worked on the farm. Disney helped care for the cows, pigs, ducks, and chickens. He liked spending time with the animals and drawing pictures of them. That's a fact. As a boy, Disney tried to ride on the back of a pig, but he ended up in a mud puddle. Disney had few art supplies, so he sketched on anything he could find, even toilet paper. His father thought drawing was a waste of time, but Disney's brother Roy encouraged him. Roy was 8 years older, but the 2 boys were close. As a boy, Disney played and daydreamed under this large cottonwood tree. It's often called the dreaming tree. Here, he visits it many years later with his brother Roy, left. Word to know. Sketch. To make a quick drawing showing only the main details. When Disney was 9 years old, his father sold the farm. Disney cried as he watched the animals being led away by new owners. His lifelong love of animals and nature had begun on that farm. A sticky problem. One day, Disney found a bucket of black sticky tar. He and Ruth used sticks as paintbrushes to draw on the side of the house. The tar would not wash off. The pictures were still on the house when the family moved a few years later. The family moved to Kansas City, Missouri. Disney's father ran a large newspaper route there. Disney helped deliver papers. He got up at 3:30 a.m. to do his morning paper route before school. After school, he delivered the evening paper. There was little time left for fun, but Disney did not stop drawing. He sketched at school and at night when his homework was done. His father even agreed to let him take an art class on Saturday mornings. When Disney was 15, he got a summer job selling newspapers, sodas, and snacks to passengers on trains. Disney liked riding the trains and seeing new places. Disney had a lifelong love of trains. This train is from the early 1900s. In his time, when Disney was a boy in the American Midwest in the early 1900s, many things were different from how they are today. Communication. Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone in 1876, but in 1908, still only 1 in 12 homes had a telephone. Transportation. A few people had cars, but most still traveled by horse and buggy. Long-distance travel was done by train or boat. Entertainment. Going to a theater to see a movie was a new type of entertainment. Films were in black and white and had no sound. Charlie Chaplin, right, was a famous silent film star. Money. The average worker earned about $200 to $400 a year. A movie ticket cost 5 cents, and Henry Ford's new Model T car sold for $850. History. Theodore Roosevelt was President of the United States. A young artist. Soon, Disney's father found work in Chicago, and the family moved again. There, Disney drew cartoons for his high school newspaper. He also took art classes 3 nights a week. Over in Europe, World War I was raging. 16-year-old Disney wanted to do his part. He left school and signed up with the Red Cross to drive an ambulance. Disney was sent to France in November 1918. The war had just ended, but the Red Cross still needed drivers. Disney stayed in France for 9 months. While he was in France, Disney drove an ambulance like these. He drew cartoon figures on the canvas sides. When Disney returned to the United States, he moved back to Kansas City. He got a job with a company that made short films. There, Disney learned about animation. 2 years later, in 1922, Disney left his job and started his own company called Laugh-O-Gram Films. He made short films that took well-known fairy tales and made them funny. Those cartoons were shown in theaters before the main feature. Disney made his Laugh-O-Gram cartoons in this building. Today, a group called Thank You Walt Disney is working to restore the building and turn it into an animation museum. Disney worked hard, but he didn't make enough money to pay all his bills. He had to close the company. Words to know. Animation. A way of creating the appearance of movement with a series of pictures. Feature. A full-length movie at least 1 hour long. The art of animation. Animation uses a series of pictures to show movement. For example, to show this cat running, an artist made many drawings. In each drawing, the artist made small changes in the positions of the cat's legs. When all those drawings are viewed quickly, one after the other, it looks like the cat is running. Back in business. Disney was 21 years old. He had only $40 in his pocket and no job. He packed everything he owned into one suitcase and took a train to Hollywood, California, USA. The movie business was growing there. He hoped to find work at a movie studio. No one hired him, so Disney started drawing cartoons again. Word to know. Studio. A place where movies are made or where an artist works. His brother Roy was living in California too. The brothers teamed up to create a new company, Disney Brothers Studios. This is how the famous Hollywood sign appears today. But when Disney arrived in 1923, the sign actually read Hollywoodland. That's a fact. The name Disney Brothers Studios was later changed to Walt Disney Studios, but Roy continued to be an important part of the company's success. Disney worked on a series of short films called the Alice Comedies, which he'd started in Kansas City. They were about a girl who traveled into a cartoon world. Putting a live person into a cartoon was something new, and people liked it. Disney was asked to make more Alice films. He hired people to keep up with the work. Virginia Davis was the first actress to play Alice. She is seen here in a detail from a color poster for one of the Alice comedies. One of the people Disney hired was Lillian Bounds. They soon began dating. On July 13, 1925, they were married. In his own words, when you're curious, you find lots of interesting things to do.